Tên thật của ông ta là Lê Văn Phúc, từng có một cửa tiệm sửa xe ở Biên Hòa. Và 20 năm trước thì ông đấy cũng mất tích một cô con gái ở Chợ Đêm tên là Ly Thảo Linh, là 20 năm hay sao.
Tùng này, cái này thì tôi không thể chắc được.
Có thể đó chỉ là một màn kịch nếu người đàn ông đã làm bố từ tiết điều động bởi đàn em của Hương thì cô ta chưa hề từ bỏ ý định trả thù đâu. Cô ta đang muốn tiếp cận lại hai người để kết thúc nốt điều cô ta chưa làm được trong khi bị bắt.
Các bạn đã đọc đó.
Tôi làm được.
Chứ là xe nó để ở phía kia. Anh ấy bác nói chuyện gì đó, ra là để anh cũng căng thẳng mà bác cũng căng thẳng hết. Có như thế nào anh cũng phải nói.
Jack's dimly lit room early morning. Papers and blueprints are scattered on a wooden desk. Jack, looking weary, types on his laptop, the soft hum of the fan breaking the silence. Jack glances at a photo of Tu Tien on his desk, his eyes heavy with worry. Every night I lie awake, haunted by the thought of losing her. I'd give anything to keep her safe. He murmurs, his voice raw, the weight of his secret palpable. It's 6 a.m. on May 8, 2025, in Jack's small city apartment. The morning light filters through the curtains as he finalizes a bridge design, but his mind is elsewhere, on Tu Tien and the danger closing in. By dawn, I'd sent off my bridge design. But the real blueprint I'm working on is keeping Tu Tien alive. Would you risk everything for someone you love? Jack's phone buzzes. On hi, I just sent the detailed design through email. Have you received it? He asks, his tone focused, the click of his mouse echoing. Got it, everything's clear. I'll follow your design exactly. Hi replies, his voice steady over the line. Good. I'll be down in a few days, call me if anything comes up. Jack says, hanging up with a sigh, the project a brief distraction from his fears. A soft knock at the door interrupts his thoughts. Come in, he calls, his voice softening as his mother enters, her gray hair tied back, a tray of tea in her hands. Working already, Con? She asks, her tone gentle, setting the tray down, the faint aroma of jasmine tea filling the room. Yes, me, I just finished, Jack replies, rubbing his tired eyes, the strain evident in his slouched posture. Eat something, I'll cook for you, she insists, her voice warm but firm, the maternal concern clear. I'm not hungry, me, Jack declines, his tone distant, his focus drifting to the photo again. You need to eat, don't just work all the time. She urges, her voice tinged with worry, placing a hand on his shoulder, her touch grounding him. I know, me, I'll eat later, he assures, his tone softening, forcing a small smile, the gesture a small comfort. The room is cluttered with blueprints, a half-empty coffee mug on the desk, and the faint sound of morning birds outside the window. Jack's mother pours tea, the steam rising in delicate curls, her hands trembling slightly with age. Have you eaten, me? Jack asks, his tone shifting to concern, noticing her frail frame, the lines on her face deeper than he remembers. I had milk earlier, she replies, her voice calm, sipping her tea, the porcelain cup clinking softly. I thought you were still asleep. Jack says, his tone lightening the moment a brief respite. You need to take care of yourself, Con. You've been eating less lately. She observes, her voice heavy with worry, her eyes searching his, the unspoken fears lingering. I've been trying to cut back. I'm fine, Jack replies, his tone dismissive, though his hollow cheeks betray him. I'll get you some supplements tomorrow. You need to eat well, she insists, her tone firm, the maternal instinct unwavering. I still have the ones you got last time. I haven't finished them, Jack says, his voice gentle, the bottle of vitamins sitting unopened on a shelf. Drink them regularly, it'll help your appetite, she urges, her voice softening, handing him a glass of water, the gesture a quiet plea. Jack takes the glass, his hands trembling slightly. I've barely slept. I'm too worried about Tu Tien and everything with our family, he confesses, his voice breaking, the exhaustion raw in his eyes. I know you're anxious, Con, but you have to stay strong. Things will work out, she soothes, her voice steady, though her eyes glisten with unshed tears, the shared burden heavy. Jack leans back, his voice low. Last time I went to Tu Tien's hiding spot, I managed to shake off the thugs following me. They still don't know where she is, he reveals, his tone tense, the danger a constant shadow. Have you noticed anything unusual here, he asks, his voice sharp, the fear of betrayal lurking. I've stayed inside, only going to the market occasionally. I'm careful, she replies, her tone cautious, the locked door a testament to their vigilance. Don't go out unless it's essential. I'll get whatever we need, Jack insists, his voice firm, the protective instinct fierce. I know, Con, I'll stay safe. But you be careful out there, she warns, her voice trembling, the stakes clear. I'll arrange for Tung to send extra protection, Jack assures, his tone resolute, the plan a small reassurance. The conversation shifts from tender concern to tense urgency, the mother's worry mirroring Jack's fear. Their shared love for Tu Tien, a fragile thread amidst the chaos. Is Tu Tien okay down there? She asks, her voice soft, the concern for her son's beloved evident. She's safe for now. I told her to stay put until we figure out who's behind this, Jack replies, his tone steady, though his clenched fists betray his unease. I didn't expect Uncle Dung to find such a remote place. It's a good spot, he adds, his voice tinged with gratitude, the rural hideout a lifeline. That's Dung's sister's place. He's helping us investigate, she says, her tone relieved, the alliance a small comfort. He's been good to us since the old construction days. I trust him, Jack says, his voice firm, the bond forged through years of shared labor. Uncle Dung, a weathered man in his late 50s, with calloused hands from years on construction sites, a quiet demeanor and a loyal heart, always ready to help Jack like a brother. The stakes are high, Tu Tien's safety hangs in the balance, and Jack must uncover the mastermind behind the threats, possibly linked to her fake father, before they strike again. A knock at the door interrupts them. Bakoy, anyone home? A woman's voice calls. Ko Hung, Jack's mother exclaims, her tone surprised, opening the door to reveal Hung, a woman in her 30s, her face marked by a nervous smile, a small bag of gifts in hand. Chow chow bac, Hung says, her voice hesitant, stepping inside, the air shifting with unease. I went to your old house, they said you moved here. she explains, her tone apologetic, setting the gifts down, the gesture awkward. Sit, Hung, have some water. Jack offers, his tone guarded, pouring a glass, the clink of the pitcher sharp in the silence. I just got back recently, BSc, Hung says, her voice soft, sitting stiffly, her eyes darting between them. I came to apologize for everything I did to you both. Hung confesses, her voice trembling, the weight of her past crimes heavy. I know I've done wrong. I hope you can forgive me. Jack's mother nods slowly, her tone measured. The past is the past, Hung. I don't hold grudges. But I hope you've changed for the better. Jack watches silently, his jaw tight, the suspicion simmering beneath his calm exterior. The scene remains serious, Hung's apology a pivotal moment, her sincerity questioned by Jack's wary gaze. The tension palpable without forced humor. How's Tu Tien? Is she still at the farm? Hung asks, her tone casual, but her eyes betray a flicker of intent. She's doing well, still at the farm. Jack lies smoothly, his tone neutral, the deception a necessary shield. His phone buzzes, Tung's name on the screen. Excuse me, I need to take this, Jack says, stepping outside, his voice low. Tung, you've got something? He asks, his tone urgent, the call a lifeline to the truth. I've got leads, meet me at the cafe now, Tung replies, his voice sharp, the urgency clear. I'm on my way, Jack says, hanging up, the stakes rising with each second. At the cafe, Tung slides a file across the table. The hum of the espresso machine a stark contrast to the gravity of their conversation. The man claiming to be Tu Tien's father, his real name is Levan Phuc, Tung reveals, his tone grim, the file revealing a photo of a weathered man, his eyes hollow. He admitted to me he's not her real father. He was hired to play the role, using a photo Tu Tien always carries, Jack says, his voice low, the betrayal cutting deep. He's got a missing daughter, Lu Tao Lin, lost in 2005, but 3 months ago he contacted people tied to child abductions, linked to a woman named Vi. And Vi works for Hung. Tung adds, his tone chilling, the connection a bombshell. Hung, the one who used to be my assistant? Jack asks, his voice rising, the pieces falling into place with a sickening clarity. She was at my house this morning apologizing, could be a ruse, he says, his tone hard, the danger now personal. Jack's hand tightens around his coffee cup, the steam rising ignored as his jaw clenches, the realization of Hung's potential betrayal sinking in, his eyes narrowing with resolve. Details about Phuc's past locations are condensed. Only the critical link to Hung and Vi is highlighted, keeping the focus on the unfolding conspiracy. Jack calls his mother, his voice tense. The high-stakes revelation of Hung's involvement in Phuc's deception drives the narrative, leading to Jack's resolve to protect Tu Tien at all costs. The cafe scene a turning point. Scene shift. Tu Tien at the village, midday. The garden is lush with eggplants, the air thick with the scent of earth. Tu Tien and Bac Min walk through the eggplant garden, baskets in hand, the sun warm on their backs. Want to check the garden with me or stay home? Bac Min asks, her tone kind, adjusting her hat, the straw fraying at the edges. I'll go with you, Bac. Tu Tien replies, her voice bright, grabbing a light jacket, the rural piece a stark contrast to Jack's turmoil. It's nearby, no need to lock up, Bac Min says, her tone casual, leading the way. The gardens rose vibrant with purple and white eggplants. You planted so many, Bac. Tu Tien exclaims, her voice awed, running her fingers over a small fruit, its skin glossy. We harvest every day, mostly small ones now, Bac Min replies, her tone practical, plucking an eggplant, the snap of the stem crisp. Do you sell them at the market, or do people come here? Tu Tien asks, her tone curious, filling her basket, the weight grounding her. We sell to buyers, they come to pick and weigh them, Bac Min explains, her tone matter of fact, the routine a comfort. Prices are low this year though, she adds, her voice tinged with regret, the economic strain evident. Tu Tien holds up a tiny eggplant, smiling softly. This one's so small, looks like it's not ready to leave home yet, she says, her tone playful, the light moment easing the tension, Bac Min chuckling in response. A buyer approaches, her voice brisk. I'll take both purple and white, but prices are down today, she says, her tone apologetic, inspecting the harvest, her basket heavy with eggplants. That's fine, come by this afternoon, Bac Min agrees, her tone resigned, the deal struck. They'll pick this evening, let's take some for ourselves, she tells Tu Tien, her voice warm, the shared task a bonding moment. Tu Tien nods, her basket full. The eggplant's earthy scent a reminder of simpler times. I'll pickle these later, she says, her tone content, the domestic act a small joy. The garden is alive with the buzz of insects, the soil cool underfoot, and the distant lowing of cattle as Bac Min feeds them. The wooden rake scraping against the ground, the rhythm steady. Bac Min heads off. I'm going to a gathering up the road, won't be back until around 2 p.m., she says, her tone casual, adjusting her scarf, the village path winding ahead. I'll stay here and cook lunch, be safe travels, Tu Tien replies, her voice warm, waving as Bac Min disappears, the solitude a brief reprieve. Inside the wooden house, Tu Tien prepares to pickle the eggplants, the kitchen simple but warm, a jar of salt on the counter. She hums softly, the act grounding her, when a knock at the door startles her. Tu Tien. It's me. Jack's voice calls, his tone urgent, the sound a jolt to her quiet moment. Tu Tien opens the door, her eyes lighting up. On! She exclaims, her voice a mix of joy and concern, stepping aside as Jack enters, his forehead slick with sweat, his borrowed shirt rumpled. I'm drenched, had to walk up after parking the bike down the road, he says, his tone breathless, collapsing into a chair, the heat clinging to him. Drink some water, Tu Tien offers, her voice gentle, pouring a glass, the clink of ice a small comfort. I came straight from work, had to take a motorbike to avoid being followed, Jack explains, his tone tense, wiping his brow, the danger a constant shadow. Have you eaten? She asks, her voice worried, noticing his hollow cheeks, the strain evident. I had breakfast, I'm not hungry, he replies, his tone dismissive, though his stomach growls softly, betraying him. I missed you so much, Tu Tien confesses, her voice soft, sitting beside him, her hand brushing his, the connection a lifeline. The scene shifts from Tu Tien's quiet contentment to the urgency of Jack's arrival. Their shared love a beacon amidst the fear, the emotional thread unbroken. Stay here for a while longer, okay? Until things settle. Jack urges, his voice firm, his eyes searching hers, the plea raw. I'm not sad here, Back Min's been good to me, but I feel restless. Tu Tien admits, her voice trembling, the uncertainty heavy. I know it's hard, but it's safer this way. Jack soothes, his tone gentle, squeezing her hand, the promise a small comfort. Back Min's been alone for years, her husband passed, and her daughter married far away. I think having me here makes her happy. Tu Tien says, her voice warm, the bond with Back Min a small light in the darkness. The scene highlights the universal theme of finding solace in unexpected connections, even amidst fear, as Tu Tien and Back Min form a surrogate family, a testament to resilience. A knock at the door interrupts them. Chow chow BAC. Jack says, his tone brightening as Uncle Dung enters, his weathered face breaking into a smile, a bag of supplies in hand. Just got here, thought I'd check on you. Dung says, his tone warm, setting the bag down, the gesture a quiet support. Back Min's at a gathering, won't be back for a bit. Tu Tien explains, her voice welcoming, offering Dung a glass of water, the ice clinking softly. Jack's phone rings, his mother. Me, I'm with Tu Tien, he says, his tone warm, handing the phone to Tu Tien, the connection a small comfort. Back, I'm doing well here. Tu Tien assures, her voice steady, the call a bridge to her surrogate family. Jack steps outside with Dung, his voice low. I've uncovered more. The man posing as Tu Tien's father isn't her real dad. His name's Levan Phuc and he's tied to Hung, my old assistant. Jack reveals, his tone grim, the conspiracy deepening. I've got people tracking him. I even planted a GPS on his phone. He adds, his voice sharp, the plan a desperate move. Be careful, Jack. Hung's dangerous if she's involved. Dung warns, his tone grave. The shared history with Jack on construction sites a bond of trust. Back inside, Dung leaves and Jack sits with Tu Tien, the tension lingering. What were you and BAC talking about? You looked so serious. Tu Tien asks, her voice hesitant, sensing the weight. Just work stuff, don't worry. Jack lies, his tone gentle, though his eyes betray his fear. I feel like you're carrying so much on, I wish I could help. Tu Tien says, her voice breaking, tears welling up, the emotional depth raw. As long as you and me are safe, I can handle anything. Jack assures, his voice tender, pulling her close, the promise a beacon of hope. When this is over, will you marry me? He asks, his voice soft, the question a dream amidst the storm. Yes, I've always dreamed of that. Tu Tien whispers, her voice trembling with joy, the future a fragile but beautiful hope as the sun sets outside, casting golden light through the wooden walls. The ending avoids a perfect resolution. Danger still looms, but Jack and Tu Tien's love offers hope. A realistic yet heartfelt close that resonates deeply.